Hey everybody, welcome back to Red Road Paranormal. I'm Kristina, and as you can see, I am here with a bunch of friends. We got Rez back here.
Hey, everybody.
We've got over here, we have Ronda.
Hello.
And Jesa. And Gayle.
Hey.
And Coral.
Hello.
And we are going to talk about whatever the hell we feel like talking about tonight. So good luck. Hope y'all enjoy the episode because we don't know where this is going and it's all good. So again, I'm Kristina. I am a professional psychic medium, paranormal investigator with Adirondack Park Paranormal Society, and Alaskan Native descendant with no tribal affiliation, which is a great phrase that I got from my friend Gayle here. So I'm going to pass this back to Rez and he's going to talk.
Hey, everyone, you know who I am, so we'll keep it short. Member of the CAP scene, member of the Stockbridge Muncie Tribe, paranormal investigator, crypto investigator, medium, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so we'll pass it on to everyone else, get to know them, and hold on for a good ride tonight.
All right, awesome. By the way, we are recording from a Sacred Waterways Gathering Space in Cornell, Michigan. That would be in the Upper Peninsula for those of you who don't know. So I guess who wants to go first here? Gayle's going to go first because she's our host. Yes.
Well, bonjour, honey. Aki no shkori kwe, mina makadeande kwe indigenous cause. And sa Gayle, Cornell, Michigan, and Nunjaba. Nungwa manda gijugat mamwedon, ikuna, niji. My name is Earth, Wind, and Fire Woman. They call me Black Crow Woman. And I'm also Gayle, and I live in Cornell. And I said, we're all here gathered together today with my friends. So, a little interesting. Oh, so I am of Native descent and not tribal affiliated. I speak a little bit of the Three Fires dialects. So you'll hear a little of this, little of that, little of everything. Maybe a little lie, not sure.
So, Sinjin.
That's like, it's a very interesting night. So, what do you want to talk about? Ask me a question, or what do you want?
Well, I think what we want to do is we want to introduce everybody first.
Hey, guess what? You
Right.
get the magic ball.
Hi, I'm Coral.
Hi, Coral.
Oh,
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Hey. And we have arrived. So I am an energetic intuitive healer. I do readings and healings and whatever I'm really told by spirit to do. So I follow directions. That's my job.
Which is why she's sitting where she is right now, because we told her to. All right, and over here we have Ronda.
Okay, hi, I'm Ronda Vanhimbergen. I am from Sheboygan, Michigan. I am a medium. My friends call me the afterlife coach because I do speak to the dead. And that's pretty much it for me. I'm just like hanging out with the best people over here in the world. And I'm
Awesome.
gonna hand it back to my other friends.
Jesa, here we go.
Hi, I'm Jess, and I'm just here to have fun and ride unicorns. And I sleep a lot, and I'm just so grateful to be here. So,
By the way, she also is an access bars healer and a bunch of other really cool stuff. She does reflexology. She's an amazing healer.
I gotta be no.
So she didn't want to tell you all that, but I do. So there we are. All right. The truth is out. All right. So who has a burning desire to say something?
Oh, boy.
I just want to shake the speaker and wait for the 8 ball to turn and say,
I agree.
Absolutely.
You're in for a treat, guys. If we could get through this. So anyway, a lot of people, when they started coming to Sacred Waterways, they wanted me to do things like this. And everybody wanted to come here, and they found this place special. And besides us, we're special. And I try to behave.
We try not to make an issue out of
Sorry.
it, so it's all good.
But anyway, I have a 5-acre piece of property here on the Escanaba River, and with this house sits a garage with a attached train car. And the train car, as Kristina slept in it last year, Rez is going to sleep in it tonight, him and his wife. There's a few guests that come in. It's quite active. The last time we were in it, we actually felt it moving, literally like it was on tracks, and it's not. But the history of the train car, when I first got it, I went in and there's a little indent in the floor, and I was always offered tobacco, and I would say my name and who I was. And if anybody was ever here, to please let me know who they were. I did this for months and months and months. And we got to the one point, it was August of one year, and you can't open the windows and it's hot. And I went in there, I did the same thing. I'm like, Buju, Ani, Akinoshkodekwe, I'd love to know your name. And I heard the word g, g, g. And I'm like, I got that cold, bone chilling cold. And my leather piece that was up on top, it had moved. And at that time, I wasn't really on the spiritual journey, and things were coming. They've always came when I was young, but not like it has been the last 10 years. So I literally said, I hear you. I don't know what you're saying, but I'll find somebody, that does. And I ran out the door. So I had called somebody that came the next day, and they came in and they said that the train was loaded with spirits. And I felt like I was getting hugs from like men, and hugs from women, hugs from children. Then it kind of went to, I had a friend that came over, and she wanted to know if she could bring a friend. They got over, I didn't know who this guy was, had no clue who he was. And they had come over, excuse me. And he was walking around the yard, I live on the Escanaba River. He was walking down by the river. He went into the house. He was in the bunkhouse. I have different buildings on the property. And he says, he looks at me and he says, I don't know why they had me come here. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know why you're here either. and so when they left, they wanted to go to the train. They wanted to see my friend and her husband and this guy wanted to see the train. He walks into the train. And he says, now I know why I'm here. He asked me for a piece of paper and a pencil. So I give him a piece of paper and pencil, and he's walking around the train and he's writing things down. And he's going from, it's kind of like a double car. And the train dates back to the 1860s, the 1870s. So the historian and the restoration guy had came from Illinois 2 winters ago, 2 Novembers ago, and gave me the history of the train. And so it's old, all wooden car. And so he's writing things down. And when he gets done, he says, do you want to know about your train? And I said, I would love to know about the train. And he says, the train was in Illinois at some point. And I went, he said it was at the World's Fair. It had something to do with the color silver and the metal silver. And I'm like, okay. And he said a few other things, and he said it had to do with spider medicine and different aspects of, he was kind of telling me a few different things. And he says, and there was a name. He says there's a name, like it starts with like a G, like G, G, G. And I went, good, okay. And I said, just a minute. So I went out to my car. And for 4 months, I was carrying around in my console of the car, 2 boxes. And I went in and I said, open this first box. And he opened the box, and I realized this is a train, right? And in the first box was my great-grandpa's or great-great-grandpa's pocket watch. It was a railroad pocket watch and the color silver. And they said, look at the next box. So he looks at the next box. And he says that it is, hey, you never know what's going on. Spirits calling. So
Very likely.
Very likely. We're on the boondocks here. They're gonna try to.
Then they could be lost because GPS does not work. So anyway, he opened the next box, and I said that was his dad's. And so he picks it up, and it is a railroad fireman's watch that's silver. I says, turn it over. And on the back of it, what does this say? In parentheses, Gus. That was his pocket watch. So I refer to my one spirit up there as Gus. So other things kind of happen around here. There's a man in the house. I was just telling Rez this in my bedroom. He wears like a cream colored, like a suit. He wears pants, coat, derby hat, black band. I never see his face. He's in my bedroom. And I just kind of wake up and ask him if I can help him, what can I do? He don't scare me, but the one day I came in and I came in the entryway and he was standing on the other side of the door. That freaked me out. I didn't expect him. I expect him to be in my bedroom. I didn't expect him to be on the other side of the door. Other people has seen him. They actually described him before I even asked him, so he's present here. Lots of different things going on around here. I mean, the spiritual and the Bigfoot,
Yeah.
Bogoji Nini. Bogoji Nini is Potawatomi for Bigfoot. I have different stories, but I'm gonna pass this. And then I'll come back to Bigfoot because I'll leave you in suspense for a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually just going to address Bigfoot. Hand me that.
So-
So last year when I stayed here, it was in the fall, sometime in the fall. October. And I was sleeping in the train and I felt very comfortable. I felt very protected. And I did feel, I didn't feel it. Well, I felt it too, but I heard it. Was Bigfoot outside the window, like just kind of a low rumble kind of a noise. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was like heavy, not heavy breathing. I don't want to make it sound creepy because it wasn't, but it was like breathing, but it was very comforting. It was like I knew who it was. I felt safe. I felt comforted, and Gus also checked on me throughout the night to make sure I was okay. And it was just a really peaceful night's sleep, and it was the first one I'd had in a while, so I really enjoyed that. But the other thing is, by the river here, we're sitting in the house, in the main house, in the living room, but behind us is a yard and then the river. And last time that I was here, we did a CE5 protocol meditation, and we were asking extraterrestrials to visit us. And I know some of us who are here tonight were there then and had some pretty interesting experiences. We'll just, yeah. And so I was kind of hoping that some of our other people would be here, but we did have some people fall sick and couldn't be here. So anybody who was here last time and had an experience, want to share it? Coral, you got that look on your
Oh,
face.
well, yeah, well, the energies out here are interesting. You can definitely tell there's like so many spirits around, and they're like active, they talk, depending on where you're in the property.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely there were things that showed up in the sky. We saw a lot of movement. There were a couple very prominent
Shapes.
yeah,
And lights. Yeah. I felt it more than saw it. I don't know
Right.
about you guys, but I felt it more than saw it. I know some people said they saw it.
Well, okay, so there was a main object that showed up that we were all focused on, and there was something in a totally different part of the sky that I was connected on, and we were because Kristina was leading us and making the contact with them, and there was movement and response and all kinds of stuff that happened with it, but I kept looking at a totally different thing. And I think when we were wrapping up, when we were ready to go back in, all of a sudden we said goodbye, and it was like all of a sudden they both just shut off. Like it was literally like a switch went off. And it was like they were saying goodbye to us.
Yeah.
It was very direct contact. I don't know. It was an amazing experience. But everywhere on the property, like there's okay, so I'm just gonna say what I was noticing as Teresa was actually talking about the train. If you were looking at this, like Gayle, when Gayle was talking about the trains, if you saw the computer screen, we can see ourselves in this video, and it was like the whole thing like went this and was like a yellow yellow hue all of a sudden that I saw go through the computer as you started talking about the train up there. And I was feeling, just as we're sitting here, like stuff is happening, and as you were
Yeah.
acknowledging him, he's like, yeah, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
literally I saw that with the screen fluctuate.
It really don't matter if you're in the house, in the train, out by the river. It don't matter where you are in the property. There's something going on with somebody. There's
Mhm.
different portals that are coming in and out. There's different energies. It depends if you're really spirit sensitive, what you can pick up on, you know, whether you see. When we were out there doing that night, just in pictures, you know, there's 3 sets of pictures that, I don't know what one of you guys took, if it was Deidre or Jess, or one of you guys took it. And it shows a green, it wasn't Northern Lights, but it's green in the background. And then the second picture, it's closer right behind me. And in a third picture, it's really engulfed around my face and my body.
Yeah, I think Deidre took those.
When we were out by the
So-
campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and it's like, so if I act like this, it's why.
Did you have an experience you wanted to share?
Been to the mothership.
Okay.
Oh, I got their story too.
I was here that night and
Yeah.
looking up when they have a great way of cloaking their ships.
Yes.
And the best way to explain it is that when you look up and you see all the stars and there's that patch where you know there should be stars and there's no stars. That's how you know they're there. And you can tell the size of the ship. I could see them standing behind Gayle. Like everybody's like, oh, look. And I'm like, no, look.
I did look and I saw it too.
Yeah, and I'm
I
like,
looked
oh,
and
there's
saw it too.
that. So, yeah, I mean, it was the energy, like our energy was all up so high, which helps hold them there even longer because, you know, they're all energy, we're energy, but our energy on Earth is so much lower than theirs that the higher your vibration, the easier it is for them to come in and through and communicate, which is great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. That night was pretty cool. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow night we do another CE5.
Yeah.
What about Jessa? You were out there, weren't you?
I was out there. I was the one that took the picture.
Okay,
actually.
good.
So when I saw it
Thank you.
coming behind you, I was like, whoa, what's going on? So I wanted to capture it because I felt like they were letting me know, like, it's okay to capture our presence this time. So I felt like there was a lot more internal communication inside of me that I had with them than seeing a lot. But when I took the picture and then I saw it, it kind of confirmed exactly what I was feeling, which was really awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that you said you
Yeah.
took the picture
Yeah.
because I thought it was Deidre, but I didn't know for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to look back and check it out again.
Yeah, maybe post them in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wasn't there also lights that came that it wouldn't have been north. It would have been a little more east, but there was lights that came up over the trees
Oh, yeah, I
across the
remember seeing
river.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That happened too.
yeah. I remember seeing that too.
There's just a ton of stuff. Like
Yeah.
literally, it's like any place you walk, there's somebody walking with you or something
Yeah.
walking with you. There's a lot of activity and presence on the property.
Yeah, and this is actually Redmond's first time here.
Yep.
And I want to get his impression of the property and what you feel here and.
It's been very interesting here since we've gotten here. Gotten to tour the whole property. The train car has a very, like you're saying, a very calm feeling. I'm actually looking forward to it tonight, not only just to sit and relax there, but to bust out some of my toys that I brought with. See what lights up or what makes noises and.
And they might bring their toys.
Never know, you know.
They might bring theirs, yeah, that'd be great.
Exactly. I know in the house as we were talking earlier, I told Gayle here that I felt a female presence behind me while she was talking about the male. So I'm kind of curious to see, you know, where that pans out to be, and this is a very amazing place. You know, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm looking to see what kind of experiences I have to go home with on the end of the weekend. So I'm glad he came up. So thank you for inviting me and my wife.
You are welcome.
And his wife Tammy is sitting off camera, not wanting to participate. We respect that.
She is here.
She is.
Mark to the bell.
She's brave enough to stay in the train.
Yes, she is. She's staying in the train tonight.
I told her she should never go to a haunted location with me, is now sleeping in a haunted location.
But people can't change.
Yes, people can change. Yeah, this is, did you want to add something? You said that there was
I'm gonna-
something at
yeah.
the end. Okay.
So, like I said, I got lots of stuff. And this one, actually, Rhonda was present for. A couple years ago, we were out by the fire on the river, and her daughter was with us. And her daughter's really into Bogoji Nini, into Bigfoot. And she was out there and she tipped a few. So she had a few under her belt. And she was gonna decide she was gonna call him Bigfoot, and she was being goofy, and she grabbed a stick and she's whacking the tree, and it's like, what are you doing? Knock it off, and it's like, knock it off. And so we went to bed, nothing of it. They left the next day, and I was sitting out watching just across the river, and I seen him literally across the river. I seen him walking, and there I was having this conversation with Rez. There is a feeling that I have learned to associate to Bigfoot, and to start a few years ago, and some of you get this, some of you will truly understand this. I was going up a hill with my elder, with my teacher, and we were harvesting birch bark, and we were going up the hill, and I had this feeling. I was right on the back of the four-wheeler with him, and we were going up the hill, and I had that feeling. Now you gotta realize at this time, I didn't watch Bigfoot. Bigfoot wasn't in my vocabulary. I didn't talk about Bigfoot. There wasn't no connection whatsoever. And we're going up the hill. We get to the top, and I said, Earl, I said, why does it feel like somebody, like we're being watched? And why does it feel like we're like in Bigfoot, like we're here? And he says, you are here. You're in his home. This is where we do ceremony for him. And I went, oh, now this is July. He said, well, every September we have ceremony for Bigfoot. He said, why don't you come? And I said, okay. So I had that feeling. That was the first feeling that I had. And it's just different. It's just a feeling. So that was associated with him talking about Bigfoot. And then it was a couple years ago, riding down a 2-track in St. Ignace. And I didn't say nothing. My friend was driving, and I was just looking out the side. I mean, it was a skinny 2-track. So you're like right there, and all of a sudden I have this feeling. Now it's been a year's span between the feeling that I had with Earl, and we're going down the 2-track, and I'm like, I got the same feeling I had years ago. I haven't had this feeling before. So right after I had that feeling, we come to this area. It wasn't a power line, but it was like an opening, and it had all the saplings that were all bent over. And I'm like, I think that has something to do with Bigfoot, so of course I didn't have no service, and I had to Google Bigfoot and to see in both bent saplings, because that's how little I knew, right? So that was the second time I had that feeling, associated with, I had the feeling before Bigfoot came into play. So I'm like, okay, same feeling. So when Rhonda was here in Sheila, that day before I seen him walk, I had that feeling before I seen him walk. I'm like, okay, that's 3 times now I've had this feeling associated with him. When these guys were here in October, Deidre was here, and she was sitting outside. There's different portals that are outside here. You can tell who comes and goes and, around here. And there's a certain one up in the front, and it's like, I seen her sitting out there, and she's kind of looking up, like just, looking. I said, what you looking at? And she says, it's not. I said, you feel Bigfoot, don't you? And she's like, you feel that too? And I'm like, yep. So
it's kind of a lightning rod for paranormal activity, I've discovered.
it's just literally, so it's the feeling. And then the last thing was really interesting, because listening to these podcasts these guys do, they'd had somebody on, they talked occasionally, just talked about the elders seeing the green orbs and the orbs coming in for healing and when they do healing. And I'm like, interesting, you know, so I go to a lot of sweat lodges and ceremony and I haven't seen the orb there, but somebody at the one podcast mentioned green orb, a large green orb. And I had that holy F moment because I called Kristina and I said, I just had a holy F moment. Because at that time, now I had a vision class back and it was either 2015, 16, I went on my vision class. My teacher told me we will always have stuff. It don't matter how many years that have passed us, that things will come to us from that sitting on the hill, you know, from sitting out there. And so at that time of sitting out there on my vision quest, besides seeing the grandmothers and you know, different things happening, there was a green giant iridescent kind of transparentish orb that came through, huge orb that had what at the time I thought was a lion in it. And it looked kind of like a lion. You know, that's all. It had the hair, the scraggly hair, kind of looked lion, but it wasn't really a lion. And it wasn't until that moment when I realized that was goddamn Bigfoot. And he was coming as my spirit guide. So I even called my teacher and I said, Earl, I said, I just had something that come that it was like, holy crap, that was from, you know, my quest, that was from back then. And I'm just getting it. I'm slow. But it comes when it's supposed to come.
Yeah.
So everything now is literally, I know the feeling. I know at least the feeling for me. What happens, and I know he's there. I know when I'm in the kitchen, I know he's there. I know when he's watching me, I know he's there. When I'm outside, I know he's there. You know, so it's like whether he's spiritual, whether he's, you know, he goes in between realms, whether whatever he does, I know in some sense he's spiritual because I seen him. I seen him in that green orb.
Yeah.
You know, so there is a connection. So however they come and do, they're here. So
It's pretty powerful stuff. I know I have a Bigfoot guide as well, a protector. And it's really I don't even know how to say, like, interesting doesn't cover it, you know, it's such a big, powerful, but gentle feeling. That's the only way I can describe it. That's the only way I know how to describe it.
Gentle
Yeah.
giant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like big and powerful, but gentle.
Yeah.
And we didn't know where the show was going. Like we just sat down and said, what are we gonna talk about? I don't know, whatever comes up. So we've talked a lot about Bigfoot, and during the almost a year now that we've been doing this show, we have talked to several different people from several different Native American communities, and there are several different names for the Bigfoot.
Mhm.
So, and what was yours again?
Bugoji Nini.
Bagoji Nini.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I said that right, I think.
Bugoji
And
Nini.
Sasquatch, there's Sitanga, there's what is the one, Alaska? I don't remember how to say it.
Oh, great, put me on a spot here.
Yeah, I know, because I could remember it.
So that's Potawatomi, and then Odawa is like Bugaway or something like that. Meaning,
Okay.
and I'm writing a song and Bugaway didn't fit in there, so we
Mhm.
went with Bugoji Nini.
Okay,
It just,
Nantinook.
Nantinuk, yeah.
look at it, there are tons of them.
Yeah, there's so many different names for this amazing being, gentle giant, yeah, that we have all, many of us have come to know and love. And so I'm glad that it went in this direction. Does anyone have anything that wants to go in a different direction? Because you look like you want to say something, Carol.
No, okay, so,
I
okay,
know,
I
okay.
want to share my favorite time that blew my mind completely, and I think we were also blown away. When we were up in Calumet
Okay,
and we went out on this property. Now, I'm just gonna say Upper Michigan, Upper Wisconsin, this area, there's so much granite, there's so much quartz, there's a ton of activity up here, no matter kind of where you go.
yeah,
But there's spots that are so intense, and we took a walk out on this property. And okay, it was nighttime. I think there was 5 of us. And we went way back in this woods and it
Oh, yeah.
was intense. Every place we went, there were huge beings around us. You could feel the terrestrial presence. There were places that we really had to push in light because it got so dark. And we just kept going around this property to different places, and we ended up going into an area that they had set up, and there was a big chunk of quartz in the center,
Mhm.
and we all just, there was benches.
It was a
and
fairy circle.
well, and they had
Yeah.
built benches and stuff. This is like where people would go and meditate out in the woods.
Right.
And we were all there talking for a while, and all of a sudden we all got very quiet, and Kristina sang a song.
A song I hadn't sung in years, by
Yes,
the way.
and I
Yeah,
had
totally forgotten it.
I totally had never heard this song, and it was absolutely beautiful. And we just sat there afterwards and just were kind of in this really amazing energy, amazing space afterwards. And she had some of the equipment she was using, and we went to leave. And as we were leaving, all of a sudden there was this being that kept coming on the screen.
But it was like a smaller being.
Yeah.
Yeah, smaller.
And then it kind of went away, and we kept walking a little ways, and all of a sudden it did it again, and we all stopped. And the way that we stopped, we were all in a circle, and she's holding the recorder in the middle of your hand, and literally
It was an EVP. It wasn't
Yeah.
a recording of me.
Oh,
It was
right.
an EVP. Okay.
and now I do a lot of this too, but the equipment, especially if you're just doing it over a cell phone, I kind of just call BS on everything because you just don't know. This was a little girl, it was a little native girl, and it sang back, not just a couple words here and there, it sang the entire verse of the song she just sang back.
Back to us. I still get go.
I know, I'm like, it's totally going through me right now.
Yeah.
But and again, this is another area that is just like kind of every place you were, but that I will never forget that moment.
Yeah,
And I just remember you and I looking at each other like, holy crap.
That
Like,
was powerful.
it was
Yeah.
so clear. It was so clear.
And it was very clearly a small child's voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a little girl,
Yeah.
and it was exactly what she
The same
sang.
song right back to us.
Yeah. And I keep coming back to that. That's probably my favorite moment of all the timing. We've done some
Do
crazy
you
stuff
remember
and
the
done
song?
some crazy.
I do.
stuff.
Aho.
Wendy Aho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
yes,
I remember the song now. I hadn't sung it
Aw.
in like 10 years. I totally had not remembered it.
yes.
So yeah, it was Wendy Aho that came through me and then came back to us through an
Yeah.
EVP.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
You know what
Yeah,
I find
so
really
It
cool?
was so wild.
You know, you guys don't realize, you guys, yes, you guys.
You guys.
She says that's proper English. We're just going with it.
I have a t-shirt, yes, you guys.
Talk the same language.
But you don't realize how much that you actually help people because you bring back memories or you like, you know, the green orb and stuff like that. I
Mhm.
don't know if that would have came without hearing that, you know, and another
Right.
thing that had happened, you know, with when I called you too, my other, she's in charge of my holy F moments, man.
Apparently I am.
Yeah, but so I was listening to, you know, the podcast with Broadhead Manor.
Yeah.
And when she's talking and you had, you know, the gentleman on there that owns him, I apologize, I forgot his name.
Bill.
Okay, hi, Bill. And so they're talking about, you know, he was telling about the story about, you know, about how he got the building.
Mhm.
And so I'm listening to this podcast, you know, a recorded one going to St. Ignace, and there's part of the road that I have no reception, you know, so I'm listening to the podcast driving, and all of a sudden I'm going down. Now I'm like, I can pick up things, I can hear things, I can semi-see things. I just can't do it on demand. It's not like direct TV. I can just.
Oh, God.
There's damn on switch.
Right?
Fumbling around in the dark.
It's whatever.
I lived that way for years.
Yeah.
I can't control it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
That's why she's coming to May. So, I'm driving and all of a
Oh, I
sudden,
know, really good book for that, right?
yeah, I got it printed up.
You got hers?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming live.
There you
She's
go.
coming here.
And what is the name of the book?
Yeah, intuitive you.
Intuitive you.
You intuitive you too.
Nice.
Yeah. Psychic and personal
Yeah, it's,
development.
yeah, how to put new
Yeah.
batteries in your controller.
He's putting a plug in for my book.
Plugging it in real easy there.
Well,
Thank you. You're welcome.
You're a little plug here.
Yeah, Amazon.
Get it off my website.
So I'm going down the road. I'm driving, all of a sudden I hear, you need to do something. And I knew that they're having the psychic fair or the,
In July,
In
July
July.
20th, yeah.
so they were talking about that on the
Okay.
podcast. And all of a sudden I heard, I'm driving. Now you really got to picture this because, I just kind of do whatever. And yes,
Are you feeling safe on Michigan?
Yeah.
roads?
I'm literally
US
driving down the road.
too, US too, we're just saying.
I got side roads. So I'm driving down the road and I get in my ear, I get that you need to do something. So I'm driving, talking out loud. What do? I don't do nothing. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. Yes, you do. No, I don't. What am I supposed to do? And I'm literally having this conversation just like this, driving down the road.
That's why she doesn't get pulled over.
I think I've had this conversation with myself.
Yeah,
In the vehicle at that.
yeah, in the vehicle.
In the vehicle. So, and then I got spirit fire. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can build a spirit fire in the middle of Wisconsin, middle of July, let alone behind a school in the middle of town. I'm like, and then I got bring your pipe. So I'm a pipe carrier. And I thought that I could do. I can bring my pipe. I can do that. And I heard they've been waiting a very, very, very long time for that pipe. I can do that. I can do that. So I'm like, I gotta get a hold of Kristina. I gotta get a hold of the guy. I gotta tell him I gotta come because I gotta come. I don't even know where I brought up Wisconsin. It's like, I gotta go.
Google
So,
Maps is your friend, I'm just saying.
so I get down to the stop sign. And when I get down to the stop sign, now there's a 6-mile stretch that I do not have service whatsoever. I can't Google anything. I can't go anywhere. So I stopped and I said, may I ask who's telling me this? Okay. And I got the name Redbird. And I'm like, well, thank you, Redbird. Okay, well, now I can't wait till I get Google because I want to Google Redbird in Wisconsin, right? So like, I don't know.
Did you get Cardinal? I'm just wondering.
Chill.
It's
Chills.
I know.
so I get to where I have a signal and I literally in my phone, I say Native American name Redbird in Wisconsin. That's what I said. So literally up comes, now I'm driving, right? Now I'm trying to read the phone. Yes, I was. And I would read the phone.
Watch you driving.
Your ticket's in the mail, you're welcome.
I almost shit my
We
pants.
tried, we
I am not
tried.
kidding you. I almost shit my pants. What came up was Redbird. Now you gotta remember in this podcast, he was talking about back in the 1800s when they cleared out the back, they cleared out a bunch of graves. And that's Ho Chunk and territory.
Yeah.
So yeah, Winnebago. So, and I'm like, okay, so when this came up and it's like Redbird was the chief of the Ho Chunk Winnebago tribe in the 1800s. I almost went up the damn road. So now I have to get a hold of her and say, you gotta tell that guy, I gotta come because Redbird said to me. So,
So I got them in touch with each other. They worked it out.
and I'm
So-
coming in July because Redbird said to me.
You know,
And-
Bessie, I don't know if I should be more scared about driving up here with all the stoners or with her.
I think it's a toss up.
Yeah.
It's a toss up. Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
thinking.
wondering.
You know, you're talking about.
If we go anywhere together, I'm driving, okay?
I'll sleep. I'm good.
That's
I
fine.
don't look, I'm sleeping. But the connections around here too, another thing you guys had talked about too is between railroad tracks
Yep.
that were across the road,
Mhm,
limestone
Yeah.
that I sit on
mhm.
and water.
Yep,
There we go. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm.
yep.
the
And
tra-
limestone is good for your hips and your joints and your feet.
Oh, good, I'll be running around barefoot tomorrow.
Yeah, it's very good. It's
Yeah.
from the waist on down, it's
Keep your
very good
pants on.
medicine.
Oh, my wife's here.
Well,
You
it's
should
good for
keep
your
your
hands.
Thank you for showing up.
That's right.
You're welcome. We'll keep him in line when you have to work.
Big sisters.
Yeah, suck it up, buddy.
You know?
So there's a lot of things from their shows that literally, it not just me, I think it helps in like, oh my God, have that moment of, and like realize that, oh my God, yeah.
You're not
you know,
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I would say I'm nuts, but I'm not a committed nuts yet.
Not certifiable yet.
No one's turned you in.
This is the intervention.
That's what
That's what this is. This is an intervention.
they
Oh
go
my
to the
goodness.
guiding insane asylums, they're bringing me with. They're not bringing me
I
with.
can't judge, I've been in the padded room with a straight jacket, just saying.
Jessa, Ronda, either one of you have anything you'd like to say before we sign off?
Oh, no.
I just want to comment on the fact that I love your show.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
when I watch it, I'm, doing other things at home, but it's great messages. And I feel like it really hits home a lot to me. Like sometimes I'm taking notes during it, and I have all these little post-its of phrases from your
Awesome.
show that from different
Aw.
guests that I have up in my kitchen that I see every day. And it's really inspiring. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. So now that we have a great plug for the show, thank you, Jessa. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications, share with your friends and family.
Maybe get an 8-ball. I don't know.
Maybe get a magic
Shake it.
eight ball.
Yes, you can shake it.
Gotta
I know what
shake it.
happened.
Oops, hey, we were unplugged for a bit, so I'm gonna repeat that. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, share with your friends. We really like doing this show. We have a lot of fun doing it, and we want to be able to share a lot of the wisdom that our guests bring, and not just our guests, but us too,
Right.
we're not
And
just,
we're like full of shit half the time. That's the time it's knowledge.
right, or intuition or inspiration,
something like
or
that.
something
There's
like
always
that.
something to laugh about.
Yeah, something to laugh about, or something to really get inspired about, because, we choose our guests pretty carefully, and we really like.
I haven't booked you for a show yet, so here we are, picky out.
And if you notice, we have like purple ears over here.
Yes, we do,
Fuzzies.
purple fuzzies.
Fuzzies.
And so anyway, thank you all very much. We hope that you have enjoyed this shenanigans as much as we have enjoyed presenting shenanigans to you. And so I'm going to have to end the show a little bit differently than I normally do, because I actually get up, walk over there and press the button. So, oh, wait, we have a magic button pusher.
Magic.
Good night. Thank
Yeah,
you.
up at the top on the left. Oh, no, use
The other left.
pad.
No.
put your finger back on the pad. Up on the top. Move the, yeah, I'm gonna have to. Okay, all right. And since I don't know how to edit films, you get to see all of it, sorry.